Marcus down.
Coach Hall's here, so we'll work on the 1-3-1 today.
What will you work on today?
Just getting them ready. You know, we're going to meet a little bit of talk and show just a clip of tape, and then get to work at doing what we do. You know, we want to worry about our team, zero in on a few things, but really, you know, our teams, we just got to keep getting better, looking at areas that we need to keep improving.
That said, do you tweak anything given their propensity to shoot three?
Well, you just know that they're going to take 30 however you guard it. So my guess would be let's make sure they're guarded, and if they still make 20, we've had a heck of a start. Who do we play next? I mean, they're going to take 30. What if they make 20? They may take 35. What if they make 25? They played good all year, and all of a sudden they're banking shots, and they will shoot them deep without any reservation coming off the break. But they also have, their inside people are playing well, and the other thing that's spread out the court now is Murphy's playing well. So they put him in pick and rolls, and they get him three. So they're good. They're a very good team.
The two teams that really shot the three particularly well against you this year, Carolina and Indiana, were obviously the two that gave you the biggest fits. Were there things in the way you defended the three in either of those games, specific things that you didn't like, or they were just shooting it?
South Carolina made 45% of their threes against this last game, too. I mean, you know, if you guard it and they're still making them, your hands are up, there's nothing you can do. Look, you cannot stop a team from shooting threes. You can stop them from shooting layups and do different things if they're trying to post you every time. But to say, all right, we're stopping the three-point shot, you're not. They're going to get them. You just want to make sure they're guarded. And then the second point of that is, if they're not making them, where does that ball go? Where does it miss to? It's going to be elbows. It's going to be out that way. So it's over our big people's head, and one of our issues has been our guard rebound. Whether it's Marcus Teague or Deron Lamb, we haven't rebounded the ball from that position. And their best rebounder, other than a big, is probably Brad Beal, and he's playing like a 2-3. He's their best. He goes after every ball.
I think you made a short jump with a young team from having a swagger to having arrogance. Have you seen things from this team that tell you they're on the right side
No,
so far?
yeah, they're good, but what you want to do is address it, and we'll talk about it today. And you know, you have to understand what's happened in the last 2 weeks. Why have we changed? Well, let's not get away from that. Then you talk about the Giants. Mid-season, what were they talking about for the Giants? They were? Fire the coach. Fire the coordinators. Fire everybody. They just won the World Super Bowl, biggest game, halftime show. How did they do it? Well, they win the game because they were the best team at this time of the year. They were the best football team. Last year, I felt my team was the best basketball team. We weren't this time. We were talking about firing a coach here at this point last year. Lost 6 road games. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it's February, what's the date? 6th. We got 3-4 more weeks where we got to keep peaking now. This can't be it, because if this is it, you start going down the wrong way.
Do you believe in that, that the team can peak too early?
Yeah, I've seen teams in November, December play so well, I'm thinking, I'm glad he's coaching that team and not me. You know, and sometimes I'll pull the reins back. I won't give them as much stuff offensively. I just want them to get in shape and play hard. I've seen teams come out of the gate like, whoa. And I'm like, there's no way they can sustain this. There's too much road between now and the end of the season. So we didn't exactly want to lose 6 road games, even though they were like 1-point games and buzzer beaters. We didn't want to, but my team was getting better each year, each day, each week, and that's what we're trying to do with this team.
Is there anywhere that this team's doing that they're peaking now?
Well, what you had last game is all 7 guys played, and that's when you have that kind of score. But when I watched the tape, there were still breakdowns. Guys stopped playing at times, and they shouldn't have been in the game. They should have just taken themselves out, or I should have recognized it. You know, we're passing the ball to each other, we're being stronger. Terrence Jones has given us a physical presence now that we didn't have 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Our freshmen are just getting better. They're not, you know, they get it just like this. Then Deron Lamb, who should be, in my opinion, he's a lottery pick. Well, play like one. Play like one. Don't look at me or anybody else. You play like one. In fact, I think he is. And so last game he played like one. I mean, he just, you know, he can play point, he can score, he got to the rim, he got fouled. It's what he is. Well, you can't jog up and down the court and act like this stuff doesn't matter and be a lottery. You got to have a motor, you got to battle, you got to, you know, and he did that. So, and it shows. Darius did well. We all played well last game. Now we're going against a team that, you know, is similar to us in that they went through that stretch, they weren't physical enough, and he had those killer practices, and now all of a sudden it's changed the dynamic of their team. They're playing more physical. And just like we went up to Tennessee, they did exactly the same thing to us that they did to Florida. Exactly. And now it was good for us. This game is good for our team. You know, people ask, well, why do you say? Because every opponent we play, especially as they get better, this team will experience it for the first time. You're starting 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores. It's all new.
Can you teach trajectory on long rebounds? Is that strictly instinct?
They got to cover elbows. Guards got to be at the elbows. When that 3 shot, you can't look in, you can't walk in the lane. You go right to those elbows, and that's where you block out.
Florida's been to Ohio State and Syracuse. How much do you think the Kentucky effect maybe is a little diminished since they've had those experiences under the belt?
You mean that being
Just that they wouldn't be as awed by the whole thing.
They're not going to be awed. They know they're not worried about anything other than trying to beat us. And they beat us a year ago. This is a different team, but I'll be honest with you, their team is totally different than their team. Totally different team. I think a much better team because they can do more. And Murphy's better. Theo adds that what you need. Rosario comes in and just like, you know, he's shooting it now, and if he's making them, it's a problem.
Talking about Davis, SEC award plus national award, and a lot of stuff coming his way, and Keith Gilchrist said something too.
That's good for him. You know what I like is that you're not talking about kids that are shooting the ball 25 times a game. You're talking about kids shooting the ball 11 times a game, and they're finally getting their due. Where basketball people will start looking at them and not say, well, they're only averaging 12 points a game. How can you have a player of the year? What? So obviously you played soccer in high school and you have no idea what this sport is about. So I'm like, these kids deserve the accolade. They're number 1 in the country. They're playing and defending and shutting people out. And, you know, now we've got tough road. We're going to learn about each other. And, you know, the great thing about basketball, too, that's different, that guys like those guys, as the season goes on, just keep establishing themselves. But the other side for a team, it's not football. We can lose, still win it. It's about your team getting better and keep learning about your team. We come out and we don't do a good job of guarding the 3 and they beat it. We're like, okay, well there's an area that we could get beat in the tournament. A team that grinds it out and plays physical and holds the ball and really bothers us, all right, that's a team that could beat us in the NCAA tournament. A team that comes out and plays all zone and bothers us, and we get, okay, now we got to make sure when we face a team in the NCAA tournament that's why that's good for this team. As many different kind of experiences as they can get is better for them.
Is Florida unique at all, John, in the sense of so many good backcourt players that, at least theoretically, they might hold on to the ball better, reduce your transition?
No, what they're going to do is at times go to 4 guards. And then we got to figure out what we're doing. But they will go to 4 guards. The good news is I got Darius, who's always hurt them at the 4 position. So you put Darius at 4, it's always been a problem for them.
When you talk about not peaking too soon, you know, maybe you need to get hit in the mouth so the guys get fired up. Would you really rather not have won 23 in a row going into postseason play, which I guess it would be if you don't lose?
Well, we're just trying to get better. I don't know. I mean, someone, you know, the year we had won 27 in a row in Memphis, don't you want to know? Not now. Let's just keep trying to win. You know, at that point, if your team's getting better, fine. The whole point, too, is what if a team just plays, you play well, and they just play better. They have the game of the century. Well, you just say that's what it takes to beat us. the question is, you know, and I tell my guys, they're gonna play great, let them, but you gotta make it hard for them to play great for 40 minutes, that's all.
So this team has done enough since that day when you said, since you told them.
No,
maybe we
I'm
need to
saying,
win,
if
maybe we need
if
to
they
lose
come
one.
out in an arrogant way, then we need to get popped. If we get a team that just physically bulldozes us and guys don't show, you need to get beat. What they need to know is if you show up in the NCAA tournament and you're not ready, you're losing. So if that happens, then you need to take a loss. And if they really truly want to do something unique and special, every one of these experiences is building toward March, everything. Our whole season is about that. It's not about league tournaments, it's not about league championships, it's about building to March. I don't worry about anyone in the league ready when they play Tuesday, Thursday, 9, noon, it doesn't matter to me. Everything is building toward us playing well in March.
John,
Last question.
Arrogance. Teams that peak too soon and start that slide, is that because of arrogance, you think, mental exhaustion? What
Well,
happens there?
sometimes a team is a veteran team and they're so far ahead and they're playing well, and then there's only so much. Look, your team, individual players are a big part of this. As individual players get better, your ceiling becomes better. So what happened for us, Josh started getting better, Darius at the end of the year got better, Brandon started running the team better, he got better. Josh all of a sudden did things like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. DeAndre got better, Duran got better, so our team's ceiling got better. So part of us improving is let's get a little stronger, let's get a little more conditioned, let's get a little more skill work in, and let's work on our team stuff. So it's, you know, individual players have to get better, and if they do that, your ceiling's higher. So, all right, guys.